Well, President Obama, as I said, he came out swinging last night in the second presidential debate. But did he make up lost ground from the first one? After a lethargic performance 2 weeks ago, Democrats were really looking for the president to be more assertive in Tuesday night's town hall debate, and that's what they got. Both candidates, as you can see from that clip, really hammered away all night, repeatedly getting in each other's faces. And now a special guest joins us to break it down for us. Linda Fowler is the professor of government at Dartmouth College. Professor, thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, it's fun to be here.
So what did you think?
Well, I thought we saw two well-prepared, articulate people determined not to give any ground to either one. I think that the town hall format is particularly difficult. Town halls really aren't debates, and so it's a challenge for both candidates to both be assertive and yet not turn off the audience.
And yet what's interesting about the town hall debate, at least as it played out last night, it seems to me, is that they really did, while they interacted with the audience members, they were asking them questions, it seemed like they took every opportunity they had to really, point a finger at their opponent. I mean, they really went at each other directly, despite getting questions from the audience, no?
Well, I think what each of them did was try to answer the question in a short way and then go back to the talking points that they had prepared before they came into the questioning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and really, when it came to some of those talking points, one in particular that it seemed like President Obama scored at least, it was more effective this time around than it was last time, was really hitting Romney with questions about the math of his tax plan. And I want to roll some video for folks right now and get your reaction to it.
Governor Romney was a very successful investor. If somebody came to you, Governor, with a plan that said, here, I want to spend $7 or $8 trillion, and we're going to pay for it, but we can't tell you until maybe after the election how we're going to do it, you wouldn't have taken such a sketchy deal. And neither should you, the American people, because the math doesn't add up.
Now, to be fair, the $7-8 trillion number that President is talking about there, that's over a 10-year period. But really what Mitt Romney still didn't really answer last night was how he would pay for his tax cuts specifically without adding to the deficit. Did you get that sense, or are we still lacking the specifics we need to really trust that he's not going to add to the deficit?
Well, I think that's been a problem for the governor all along. It was pointed out by Bill Clinton at the Democratic Convention that the math didn't add up. And the fact of the matter is that no president is going to get the tax plan he wants, because we do have this branch of government called the Congress, which has the constitutional responsibility for writing taxes. So I don't know whether it's fair to fault Romney, but it does appear that he last night had an opportunity to make the case for the math, and he wasn't able to do it.
Okay. How did he do in general, in your opinion, Mitt Romney? He's he's gotten some momentum in the polls after the first debate. Do you think that momentum will continue, or will will he be able to gain some of the momentum back after this debate?
Well, I think the election is where it should have been after the conventions. And part of the problem was the Republicans had to play catch-up when their convention didn't, boost their candidate as conventions usually do. So I actually think going into the last couple of weeks of the election, we're about where I expected we would be. And in some senses, the president helped to level the playing field. But I think Republicans should have expected that he was not going to have a repeat of the last debate.
Mm-hmm. I also want to play one other video for you, for our audience. Really, the most emotional moment of the night came during this exchange about the attacks on our embassy in Libya. Take a listen.
And the suggestion that anybody in my team, whether Secretary of State, our UN ambassador, anybody on my team would play politics or mislead when we've lost 4 of our own, Governor, is offensive. That's not what we do. That's not what I do as president. That's not what I do as commander-in-chief.
Now, a lot of people think that was really the best moment for the president, and yet Mitt Romney, he may not have handled it as well as he could have, I guess, though it was the specifics of that exchange, and Mitt Romney was correct in saying that the administration wasn't really clear about what happened early on. How do you view that exchange, not only how it played out, but really the specifics behind what really happened there?
Well, it's always tough to be on the same floor when the president is wearing the commander-in-chief hat, and that's what Obama put on last night. But the fact of the matter is, the Romney campaign has not had a very good approach to dealing with foreign policy issues, which is conventionally a strength for Republican candidates. And the Libya issue is so complicated. I think they probably, are not being very savvy in trying to make that the defining issue of the Obama foreign policy.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of foreign policy, that will be the subject of the third debate. And, of course, we will have coverage of that next week on WSJ Live, so be sure to be here with us for that. Professor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Take care.